Hi, my name is Phil and a warm welcome to Festool TV. On occasions it's necessary to work in dark environments, and this could be in areas such as attics, or it could be in basements, or rooms which have been disconnected from the power supply while they're being worked on. But these rooms still need access, and for this type of access you could use something like the SYSLITE uni. The SYSLITE uni works from a battery power source, so battery with this profile can be clipped onto the SYSLITE uni, and then we have a two-stage light to work from. We press once and then twice. We can then vary the type of light that we're working with, or that we need to use for access into areas with. On the back we have this profile here, and this can be used for hanging the SYSLITE uni from a ladder, but we can also angle the head, and this means that it's extremely flexible in the types of work that it can be used from. On the side we've got 1 and 2 clips, so I can hang this from either my belt clip or from my trousers, and the SYSLITE uni is always to hand to work from. But on occasions you may need to work with a different type of power source or supply, especially if I'm working on large open areas such as this wall. And it means then for any type of surface preparation I would need a clean spread of light across this area to work with. And this is where the KAL2 can be used. With the KAL2 I have a 180-degree beam of light so I can work with, but it spreads the light out in such a way that it's even, and it means then that I can work on a surface and I can see the textures and the profile of the surface very, very cleanly. With the 12 LEDs, it means that this surface is then consistently coloured all the way across. But the KAL2 is very flexible in how it can be used. I can put it onto its base or its side, and I can use this at different angles to find exactly the correct position in which I want to work with. On the base of the light there's a small threaded insert, and in here we can put this adapter, and this then means that we can position the light in areas which may be made from different materials. The base has a magnet in it, so if I'm working in an environment with a lot of steel work, it means that this can then be clamped onto an RSJ, for example. If I'm working in an environment with a lot of timber-based materials, I can then use this adapter. I can screw this onto the board, and then, because the two are magnetised, we can then hang the light in the correct position. If I undo this screw here, then I can position the light in one of any number of positions to make sure that the light is giving out the correct spread of light for the type of work that I would be doing. As soon as you turn this on, you can see we have a spread of light which is even. If we then press again, we can increase the brightness of the light. Internally, there's a 7.2 amp hour battery, but once this battery is being depleted, I can slide the back off, and then we can use a battery pack from our range, and then we can slide this in. And so the length of time that the light can be used for has been increased. So it's very flexible in how it can be used, but also the length of time that this light can be used as well. If we put the back cover back into position, we can then bring up this flip. So now with this little hook here, I can hang it from a screw, or I can hang it from a ladder rung, for example, and the light can be used in that type of format. So the 7.2 amp hour battery can be charged from external power source, or we can use a car charger also to charge the KAL2 with. So with the KAL2, it means we can use this on wide open areas where we have a very good spread of light, and it can be flexible in the way in which it can be used. And don't forget, this is also covered with service all inclusive as well. There also may be a need to work with consistent power supply from a stationary source, and this is where the SYSLITE Duo can come into play. And this is the plus version of the SYSLITE Duo because it comes in the sustainer. The SYSLITE Duo will give out a spread of light at 180 degrees. So it means that the light is not only going up, but also coming back behind itself. This means that for working on large surface areas such as this wall, it means I get a good spread of light. So the cable is round around the base, and as soon as the cable comes up, we can then have a little cable holder here, which means it's tucked away tidily at all times. But now, really, the best thing to do is to show you what this light is like as soon as it's plugged in. So we can undo the cable and the cable holder. And with the cable, this is tough and it's made for the construction environment as well. But as soon as I plug this into my power source, the light will come on. So now 180 degrees, it's rated at 8,000 lumens, so we have a very bright light for working on flat areas, but also for lighting up environments. It means I can work in a light, which means that it's not making me tired in any way whatsoever. So I'll just turn this off and then I can take you through some of the other ways in which the light can also be held. On top of this central handle here is a small recess, and this means that if I need to hang the light up at any point in time, it's held centrally and it's also balanced in that position. On the back here is a small clip, so I can use this to fix up against the wall if I needed to as well. But also, this base can be removed. There's two clips, one on the left and one on the right-hand side. And if we lift these clips up and then we can bring the base towards me, and then we can remove it from the light. With these three holes, I can attach this to a piece of plywood, and then it gives me many different options on either fixing the SYSLITE Duo to the ceiling or onto a wall. It then means if I'm working in one position for a period of time, the light is static and we can work in that format. But with the Duo, it means that in this type of using it in this manner, it's flexible and it's easy to work with. But with the Duo, we can also fit this onto a tripod. And this now means that rather than having a fixed light, we've got something which can be moved around, but we can also vary the height as well. On the underside with this hole, there's a small recess on the side here, and this will just fit onto the little clip on the side. And as soon as we put the light into position, you'll hear a small click, and now it's locked. So if we undo this little screw, we can then bring the light up into that position. And this will extend up to 2 meters in height. So as soon as I bring a light up, it means that my spread of light also increases, and I can get the full working benefit of working with the SYSLITE Duo. If we bring this down to position, turn it around, the clip on the inside we can just push in, and then I can turn the SYSLITE Duo, and then we can remove it from the tripod. If I'm in a bit of a rush and not being too careful, and I just undo the clip, it means that the tripod, the center part of the tripod will go down. But because of the spring on the inside, it's not going to damage anything. So everything is thought out and well looked after. Also on the base of the tripod is a cable clip here. So it means that even with my cables, I can keep them nice and tidy while I'm working. So with the SYSLITE Duo, the 180-degree beam, it means that we can light up a room very, very easily in a good colour to work with. If I'm working with a good colour light, it means I'm not going to be tired, but it also means the quality of what I'm doing is going to be that much better as well. So, available with service all-inclusive from Festool, and I'm sure you'll enjoy working with this type of light. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again on the next presentation.